Well, good morning. Welcome to the live stream. Glad to have you here on this Friday morning, here on February the 9th. Let's see if we can have a good end to our week. I know it's been a little spotty, but I'm optimistic that today will be a good day for us. And news, Anderson, Brad, morning, psychologist, Gavin. How goes it, everyone? Hello, Chuck. Good morning. In just a moment, we'll go through where we stand as far as the current markets and what the overnight activity was. I'm sure many of you have already taken a peek and saw that yeah, things have been moving overnight. So we'll take a look and see where things landed and whether we can be a part of that or whether we're looking for something else. Did that seem to not help? Let's try this again. All right, better. Okay, yeah. Nope. Let's see if we can't rebound from that today, Brad. Right, let's give everyone just another minute and then we'll go ahead and get going. Ian's Fun Vid, good morning. Welcome to the channel, Adam. I'm not sure I've ever seen you speaking in the chat before, so welcome. All right, Shark, good morning. All right. Okay. All right, it's 20 after, so let's go ahead and get going so we can catch the opening bell. All right, Ian. Again, welcome to the channel and the Discord. So if we take a look at the dollar first here on the daily, I remember we had about a couple weeks, 2.5 weeks worth of consolidation, and then we finally saw a push out of the consolidation, which broke these triple highs. Immediately following, we went ahead and we put our sights on equal highs at this swing high, and then also there were equal highs at this swing high. And we saw following the break of these three, we saw the next daily candle come through and take out both levels. We saw retest of both levels again the following day, but a rejection from those levels, pushing back into the zone. So we knew that it was going to likely find a fair value gap to see if that would be enough when it goes back for an internal range before it pushes externally again. Excuse me. So far right now, it looks like we're possibly entering another consolidation period. And following consolidation generally is expansion. So since it didn't immediately retrace, it likely has another push. I wouldn't assume that today would be that push. So expansion would generally take several days. So we may just get sideways movement from the dollar and not a huge range today. If we do get a push down, that will be welcomed. But I'd be really surprised if it pushes up. So I'm really expecting the dollar to move sideways. So it may move with us at times, move against us at other times, but really not make a whole lot of progress. If I shift down, let's see if there's anything on the other time frames. Okay, so we have this area if it wants to find some support. So there's more area for it to go down and still be in a bullish support area. Okay, so about the same on the hourly. All right, and we do recognize that there's a huge fair value gap here, a bearish one pushing price down. So that's what, when it tapped in and then the following day it retested and was pushed out. So that was that area there. Let's now go to our friends ES. Check out his daily candle. Interesting enough, we've been really close to this level. I've been calling it all week. I didn't know exactly which day it would hit, but we've just been inching close. We made a big push Wednesday. Yesterday, we didn't make much progress at all. Make that a little larger. Yep. And then here overnight, we see that we have now taken the high from January of 2022. So now we have all-time highs in all three indices. S&P finally caught up. And so now we need to see what the indices want to do now that they've all have pierced and made their new highs, whether they all want to retrace or whether this is going to be a run and they're going to just dare us to catch up and hang on. There is no news today. So there is nothing to really just push price in a specific direction at a specific time. So we'll just watch price action and follow it and see if we find any signals that'll give us an entry. All right, so now that we've taken out an external range liquidity, price is likely to want to dip back internally for a bit. There's an area right here that it can dip into, and this is on the 4-hour chart. We have a couple lows here. It doesn't necessarily have to take out those lows. It can just dip right into the top of the fair value gap without sweeping those lows, either in this one that it's currently creating or down here, just not take out the 50.04, and then it can return bullish with no issues. All right, here we go on the hourly. Pay attention to where the midnight open is. It's at 50.14, so that actually may be the floor. If we see a retest and touching the midnight open, that may be where it launches off again, catches a bounce. So that'd be a good place to watch for anyone trading S&P today. All right, let's go back to the daily and take a look at NQ. All right, so NQ, we've been taking out highs all week since Wednesday, and then we even beat the high yesterday several times in the morning. Last one was through lunch, so we had a lunchtime high that hadn't been taken. And then we see overnight, even the lunchtime highs have been taken here. So we're now, I think the all-time high is at 970 now, 972. So we're at 17,972 is the all-time high now. Here we are on the 4-hour. As price continues to push upwards, it's leaving fair value gaps behind for retracement areas for it to find support and continue its upwards trend. Yep, so we remain bullish on this time frame. We want to make sure that price remains above 17,825. So we don't want to see a 100-point retracement here. Okay, here we are on the hourly. Midnight open at 864. So 864, we want to watch that area. We have a new day opening gap along with a fair value gap on top of each other. And this is on the hourly time frame, and this is at 17,857. So these are two areas you want to pay attention to. First, the fair value gap, the midnight open just below. So you may see a dip down, a wick on the midnight open, the candle body stay in the fair value gap, and then you see subsequent candles move bullish once again. So let's, you know what, we have a few minutes. Let's just take a look at the Dow. We normally don't look at this one, so let's just do that for a moment. Just take a look and see where that all-time high was. Okay, yeah, so the all-time high for the Dow has been taken for quite some time now, it looks like. Let's get down to the daily. Yep, a Dow all-time high was taken on January the 22nd, actually. January the 22nd. And it's just been inching higher and higher and higher, and even came down, found support on the previous all-time high, just like an NQ, pushed up, made another retracement, and now it's pushed up to an even all-time high today, similar to what the NQ did. So All three indices today have made a new all-time high. S&P is the first time since 22, but the other two have already broken them this year, and they've rebroken them once again. So here on the daily, there aren't any fair value gaps there. Nothing really to find support for higher prices, but on the 4-hour, there is. We have a really small one that's being formed just below, but we have the new week opening gap down at 742. And there's a small fair value gap below that at 650, 38,650. So anyone trading the Dow, watch out for those levels there. Let's get down to the hour and see if there's anything to pay attention to. Okay, so it's quite some time before it loses its bullish profile here on the 1 hour. But we do have the midnight open down at 789, so we'll look and see if price finds support there. We have the 930 coming up in just a moment. So we see price already retracing, so that the opening bell might push it down some more. We have the new day opening gap, midnight open just below. So again, we could get a wick to the midnight open. We can get a candle body on the new day opening gap / fair value gap right on top of each other, just like we saw on NQ, and then we could get a push out. So let's get back down to our normal chart here, and we'll get ready for the opening bell. Leave it here on the 15-minute. All right, let's also put up our session highs, just so we know where they are. All right, London high taken, London low not taken, so London low's open. Asia high taken, Asia low not taken. All right, so Asia and London low are open. Gives us an interesting perspective on price action right now. The previous day high taken, London high taken, Asia high taken. Where's the previous day low? Okay, so it's down here. So none of the lows have been taken. But that gives you an indication of what we might expect today. And let's see, who do we have this morning? McTony's, welcome, Jay. All right, Shark. Good job. You're better than the rest of us. You got up early, you found your trade, and you're out. Way to go. TikTok, good morning. All right, just a few seconds, and then we'll have our opening bell. Good luck today, everyone. Oh, that's so sad. London already had a TGIF. Man, I was thinking that if price is not favorable today, at least we could get a TGIF. Wow, it came exactly to 20% too. Well, 20% would be 891 based on where it is right now. Yep, and it came down to 890 and a quarter. So it came exactly 20% already. Thanks for that, Shark. I appreciate you. There you go. Good morning. Okay. midnight. Yeah. Hey, Vivian, good morning. Just looking at price now and wondering if we may get a sort of a test off at 8:30 and push down to the midnight open. As we were looking at the session highs and lows, I remember we were talking about London, Asia, both lows have not been touched. Let me check on the midnight open as well. Okay, so midnight has. Okay. Midnight open is at 863 with the London low just below at 861. And then we have the Asia low at 852. So I'm looking at an 852 rundown. Okay. All right. Thanks, Shark. Week session outlook under the day trading tab. Okay. Yeah. Hopefully some people have already checked that out. If not, I'm sure they'll see that over the weekend and they'll start looking out for it going forward. Good morning, Sniper. It looks like it doesn't want to hurry up and run down and touch the midnight open, but I'm sure it'll get there eventually. No, at the moment, Sniper, we're not. We took a look at this morning's price action from the London session, from the Asia session. We see all three indices have posted all-time highs overnight, and so right now we're just waiting to see if price wants to continue that way or if it's going to peel back. So, I mean, for now, we're just waiting to see, and we see that we had a price shift, a market shift where we were very bullish. We've now swept these lows since the opening bell, these lows as well, swept this low. So we're currently on these lower time frames bearish. And right now I'm looking at these session lows to be swept along with the midnight open being traded back to. So that's what we're looking at the moment. But that's not a huge range. That's only another 20 to 30 points down. And we could see price find its footing there and then turn around and turn back bullish. But as of right now, we're not in a long. I'm looking now to see if there's something that might be holding price up. I would imagine it would want to sometime in the next 10 to 15 minutes get somewhere down here, post a New York low, so it can come and get the London low as well as the Asia low in New York all together. So maybe that's what he wants to do. He wants to wait until 10 o'clock before sweeping those lows. Yeah, January early in the month was really good. Market was pretty clean and clear. End of December was kind of murky, just like what we have now. So it may just be a 1 to 2 week type situation, and then everything irons itself out. But don't forget, we are in uncharted waters right now, where we're seeing all-time highs. So it's a little easier to navigate price when you have your parameters. You already know where your levels are above you and your levels are below you. As of right now, we don't have any levels above us. So that makes going long or believing in price a little bit more difficult because you don't have a target. Yeah, exactly. And Shark, because of that, now you're sitting here a little unsure about going higher than that, especially today. With the absence, I mean, there's no news or anything. Let me just make sure that nothing late was added to the calendar. Yep, we're still empty here. I'll even add the low impact just to see if there's something today. Even the low impact folders, there's nothing today. None of the FOMC members speaking. What about the zero impact folders? Still nothing today. So So our normal rules that we follow on trying to anticipate price is just kind of out of the window today. We don't have any targets above us and there's no news. All right, let's watch this on the 5 minute. We'll take this until 10 o'clock and see what it gives us. Still, all the lows have been untouched. Mm. 15-minute fair value gap. Okay. Wow. Putin is giving interviews. Let's hope he discussed the resolution to the conflict over there. Yep, we'll get ready for the macro in just a moment. But for now, we'll see if this candle wants to touch the 830 open or whether it just puts an up wick and then continues downwards. I thought we would have touched the 830 open on this candle, which it was, okay, I think this is, yeah, this is the 9. I'm sorry. Yeah, this is the 930. I thought we would have came back up and touched it, and we didn't. Came almost there. Looks like it touched the 9 EMA, but not the 830 open. So maybe that's what's going to happen now, because I was predicting a bounce off the 830 down to the midnight. You know what? Let's make this the normal 830 style. And then we'll make this one the normal midnight style, which will make it easier to see. There we go. I did it backwards. Sorry. This is the 830 and this is the midnight. There we go. Oh, okay. Did he say anything interesting, Brett? All right, looks like we're getting really close to the 830. We touched a fair value gap. All right, and I would say that's touching. Now we'll see if it breaks through or if it rejects off. We still have another minute and a half on this candle. We have relative equal lows below. All right, so far getting a good rejection from this area. Hmm. Drop down to the 1 minute now. Holy cow, all of that in one. Oh man. Yeah, I'm not a believer in this breaker here. Normally I would be, but right now I'm got my eyes set on these lows. But I reserve the right to be wrong. I've been wrong many times before. Okay, so it's pushing out of it, out of the breaker, and using it as all right, okay. I, like I said, I reserve the right to be wrong. I've been wrong before. Oh, yeah. All right, Fauci, good morning. Good job, Brad. I'm glad you're not giving up. Yeah, we have losing streaks. We have bad moments, but we always rebound. We always recover and come back. All right, Fauci, good job. All right, so 20 points out of this breaker already delivered. Equal highs at 933. Was that someone mentioned 932? Yep. Deepak. Yep. In from 887. Wow. Okay. I don't know how you found an entry here, but you saw better than the rest of us. Good job. All right, Shark. See you in a bit. Look at that, all the way up to 950, 950. Anyone who got in at 905, you've already gotten nearly 50 points delivered in a matter of 7 minutes, 7 or 8 minutes. This is the type of price action that you look for, and this is what you wait for. All right, we just hit 10 o'clock, so now the New York high and lows have been printed. We have the New York high way up top here at 972, and the New York low down at 875. Yep, you're right. This is a huge one. But the same at 8:30. I don't know why the 8:30 was so strong, considering there wasn't any news today at 8:30. Crypto, welcome back. Hope you're having a blast in Vegas. It's so far this opening 5 minutes of this hour has been a bit slow, but let's give it some more time. I'm looking at the other indices and just seeing if they're aligned. And right now they're trying to get aligned. They're not quite there yet. Mm, mm, Yeah, Deepak, I was looking at 850 as well. I thought that London low and Asia low could be swept this morning. It's the midnight open down there as well. So all that just kind of compact together. The new day opening gap. It's just a lot of confluence down there. I thought that that's what price might want to run to. And so far it's showing that it wants to go the other direction. But that may be how we get set up for another TGIF today where we see price run, create a new high. And then later today, we see the 20% pullback. We'll have to wait to get there. Mm. Okay, so you're saying bullish breaker here. Good job, Queen. I lined up the breaker here, and I was like, I think we're going for those lows, so I'm not gonna trust this breaker. I wanted to see if it would grab the London and Asia low, or at least touch the midnight open, and wasn't having it. Right, if we get a breakout from here, a little consolidation, and you get an expansion, when you're looking at the New York highs, the next full liquidity up at 972. Yeah, I know. Same here, Brad. It's like, uh, BPR, crypto BPR. What's that? Oh, balance. Okay. Mm-hmm. Yep. Yep. Same. Yeah, I see the consolidation, at least here on the 5 minutes. So it's clearly consolidating on the lower time frame. Yeah, I'm honestly expecting it to run to the New York high. Go and check the 3 minutes, see where we are. You can see this candle started right on the breaker. So this is probably going to be the breakout candle. Oh, you stayed up late and traded London? Okay. Yeah, London looked like it was a decent session. I mean, the big movement happened at 8:30, so that wouldn't have been London. But yeah, during the London session, especially if you caught it anywhere down here in 860, 870 range, it ran up 50 points. Yep, so there it goes, starting to pick up now. sweep the high and then go for the New York high. So we're looking at 973, I think, 972. Hello, John Falcone. Good morning. Lexart, I do not use Bookmap. I do not. You're still up, still partying, jumped in, took a trade, won some money, slept like a baby. Sounds like a great vacation, Queen. All right, New York high within reach. It looks like there hasn't been a fair value gap traded into in quite some time. It's an awful fair value gap to take, but it puts targets in perspective. 986. Okay. All right. Do we still have people in longs from down here around 900? or most of the longs in around 925. From 930. All right, crypto. Okay, so you got one from here. Let me go to a smaller time frame. Not getting a line on this 5-minute just yet. All right, let's see how this 5-minute candle closes. Got another 10 seconds available, and then we'll take a look and see where the dollar and the other indices are right now. Just give this candle a second to close. Right. All right, so dollar thought it was going to sell, and then it started to pull back. Now it's back at its original price for the hour. So it hasn't really decided where it's going yet. Same with S&P. S&P is having the same issue, and then we have the Dow and Nasdaq doing the opposite. So this is very similar to what we had yesterday, where Dow was running high and Nasdaq was selling off, and now they're flip flop today. Mm. All right, get back over to the Nasdaq chart. Just waiting for this New York high to be swept so I can get rid of these session highs and clean up the charts a bit. I'll drop them one by one as they are taken out, and therefore we don't have to see the ones we don't need. All right, still making new highs, just moving a bit slower than it was before. So we have another minute and a half before this candle closes. Hmm. Not that I have FOMO, but I am a bit disturbed that I didn't take this 905 entry. I'd be lying if I didn't say I was disappointed. Yeah, crypto. I was thinking that's really the only way. Is going standard deviation off of either a retrace or something. However you measure your standard deviation. I was thinking that's really the only way to do it, and start having strategic levels to pull out profits, and maybe have one runner just to see what happens if you can get to 3 or 4 standard deviations. But that's about it. All right, New York high is taken, done. When did you start, Deepak? When did you start trading to get in at 833? Okay. Did you hold your trade from yesterday afternoon? Or are you on a different chart that I can't see? Yep, we're at 10:30 now, halfway through our morning session. For those who've been around for a while, you know the drill. Halfway in, if you go ahead and hit the like button, it's very much appreciated. All right, new high there. I think this line I have here at 987, I think that was a long from here, if I'm not mistaken. Yep. It was either this 5 minute or maybe the 4 minute. But that's what that line was for, based on target setting from 1 to 2 trade from this fair value gap down at 927 for anyone who took it off of this candle, the 1005 candle. Could be, but I'm wondering if this was it, since it was a fair value gap right here and it had already turned back bullish, and so you get the continuation. Let's go to a smaller time frame and see if there was another one. Here on the 2 minute at 1020. Let's see what else we got. Yeah, 1020 might be it. That might be the last one. So here on the 2 minute, yeah, 1020, it's right there. It looks like that 1 to 2 trade, which would have taken quite a bit of a stop loss there, even though it didn't get deep into it. But your stop loss for this trade would have been down at 897 from taking an entrance at 927. So you're talking about a 30-point stop loss, but it still delivered the 60 points you would have needed to take that risk. Well, we're not out of the woods yet. We haven't quite reached that point, but it's already done. Out of the 60, it's already done like 57, 58 points. So okay, got it, Deepak. All right, sorry. I was just reading the numbers you had, and so I was a little confused at your entry. But okay, 883. That makes more sense. Okay, yep. So here it is. It did deliver that 1 to 2 trade on that 5 minute time frame, all the way from the second breaker, but through the breaker into the fair value gap. Excuse me. All right, let's do this number then. Let's go here. All right, one standard deviation is right here. Maybe take it from week to week. Let's do it from week to week. All right, we'll just delete this one. It's so far away. 18068. So that's another 80 points. We'll mark up half. All right, everyone, hang in there with me. Give me a couple minutes. I'm gonna go and refill my coffee, and then we have another hour and 20 minutes in our session this morning. Just bear with me for a moment. All right, looks like since I've been gone, okay, not much. Price really hasn't moved much. We're looking to see if it can overtake the most recent candle's high. Check the lower time frame to see if there's any PD arrays that are close by we need to pay attention to. Okay. In a 1 hour, doesn't look like it's going to leave a fair value gap. Well, it could. Actually, it could. Not this hour. The next hour, it could, because the wick it'll be trying to touch would be 943. So it just depends on if it wants to retrace all the way back down to here. Because if it does, then yes, it won't. Will not leave a fair value gap. All right, we could get a break of the high here, which we just got. So at this low time frame, that now makes our low right here as our break of structure low. These talking about these equal lows right here. And we're coming up on a macro period, so we'll see if that does anything. But in the meantime, I believe it was the 3-minute provided a fair value gap entry that a 1 to 2 trade would deliver TP at 18,010. Yep, it was a 3-minute, so it's right here. A little sliver of a fair value gap. Yeah, TJ, several people have been eating off this move. Several. I missed out because I was looking at this breaker here, and I thought it wasn't going to hold because I thought price was going to go down to touch the London and Asia low, or as a minimum, the midnight open. since it was down here just before 950. But then it created the breaker here, and the breaker held, and the rest is history. Basically from 905 until where we are now. Yep. 17905 until basically 1790. Yeah, it was the same for me, TJ. I'm definitely not happy about having missed this move, especially since I saw it and I had the breaker drawn up and everything before it even retraced. I had, like, it was set up as a trade that I would take. I just believed in those lower levels that was just below it, and that's why I didn't take the trade. So yeah, we'll give it a try another time. All right, we're now at 1050. 1050. Let me drop to a lower time frame so we can look at the first few minutes of this macro period together. Having 37 points, that's hardly a scalp. That's a solid trade, or two solid trades there. All right, so far nothing major has happened. It hasn't even made a new high or anything. Looks like a low has been taken now. Okay, sorry. My mistake, has not been taken. It's moving lower, but the swing low has not been taken. It's getting close, but not there yet. Right, moving close. We're about 3 points away now from taking out that swing low. Play in the zone is what it's going to do for now, Gavin. It's going to sit in the zone and not do much. And then it's going to wait until next hour to show us anything. right, let's see if it now is going to deliver the 1810. Look at that. Right, here we are, 11 o'clock. Hey, Shark, you're back. All right. Right, let's just see how the last hour finished up. Right, dollar had an inside range hour, so it just wow, it's like equal distance from high and low from the previous hour, and the body, candle body is bearish, set right there in the center. We had a push down into the fair value gap on Dow. We slightly bullish action on S&P. It beat the previous hour's high, well below the high of the day, sort of an inside range hour. And then we had the big bullish push for Nasdaq. So we're all aware of that. That's the one we were watching. So we have Nasdaq as being the strongest of the pairs now. Dollar still kind of undecided and still consolidating. Ooh, boom, look at that. See where this fair value gap trade is going to end. It's a little higher than the previous one. Right on, TJ. All right, another 5 minutes. Macro will be over. So far, we've seen a new high put in. We did not have a market structure shift low taken, but we did have a new high placed. So now we're looking to see if price wants to continue pushing higher. We have a trade idea marked up for anyone who took a long at 17,991, which would have been a fair value gap here on the 1 minute. It looks like we got a retest at an area. So a second entry for anyone who missed the first one. All right, I'm gonna shift this back up to the 5 minute. We'll watch it from that time frame. All right, we still see every 5 minute candle making a new high. And remember, these highs are all-time highs. For anyone who just joined recently and missed the opening segment, this level here at 18,010 is TP from a fair value gap entry on the lower time frame on the 1 minute, I believe. All right, let's see where we are. Another 30 seconds. We'll close off this 5 minute candle. Fauci, that's what I was looking for. I was looking for it to clear the lows. Okay, it's not ready to grab 18,010 just yet. Yep. Yeah, Gavin, you're right. The way you want to see price is you want to see it going in the direction you want, and you want to see mostly candles that support your vision of price action. You don't want to see every other candle a different color and it's just up, down, up, down, up, down, even if it makes it to your TP. You'd rather see it decide that it's going and just go like it's showing here. So this is exactly the type of price action you want to see in the morning. Yeah, crypto. A lot of people have not liked it yet, so I don't know what that means. I'm assuming they don't like they're not a fan of the session so far this morning. So I'll give them more time to warm up and figure out that they like it and want to hit the button. Right. Thought we might make another attempt to hit 18,010. Let's go to the 3 minute and see if maybe that's where we are. Awesome. All right. So there's some more likes. I feel a little better now. Wiki, that's probably it. That's probably it. Yeah, and some of it also is they might be logged in from accounts that it's not their login, and so they can't actually like the video if they don't put in their username. So like if you're watching it on a television or something and you're not logged in, or if you have it on your phone and you're just listening to it, but you're doing something else. So there could be other reasons why they're distracted. And just like that, we have more people in the room. See, I knew those likes matter. As soon as you hit the like button, all of a sudden there's another 7, 8 people that joined. So close. It got almost there once again, and then just couldn't do it. Didn't want to. All right, we want to see this candle run through 810. 18,010. We don't want to see it break down and start to potentially show bearish price action. Morning, KB. All right, we do see it pushing further south. Let's take a look at some of the other time frames. Yep. Okay, D. Anderson. D. Anderson, were you able to catch any of that long earlier? Hmm. All right, let's haven't taken out a low yet. We still haven't reached that high. We're just sitting in the middle of the zone. Let me mark up where the center point will be. No, it's right where we are right now. All right, looks like it found support right around the 50% mark of this area here. We did get it pushed down, but a wick rejection back above. And again, this area is it's kind of a makeshift area I made. This is where the market structure shift is on the low end. On the high end was a TP for a fair value gap entry. If I'm not mistaken, it was on the 1 minute. And then I just wanted to mark up the midpoint as it would look like it was retracing back down to do the market structure shift. Then it started pushing back up as if it wants to hit that TP mark. And so I just wanted to see where the midpoint was. Uh, all right, breaking below that midpoint once again. I think half of the wick is around 990. TC no entry so far for me. It's a lot of subscribers also were able to make some money. Well, not also. A lot of subscribers made money. They were taking longs from this breaker or from this breaker, and they were able to ride it up to all-time highs that were taken out during the 10 o'clock hour today. So lots of money made in the room. None for me. I was looking for lower prices when we were at the first breaker here. I was looking for taking out the London Open and the Asia Open just below. So all those areas I thought would be touched, and market makers had a different idea, and so they basically went bullish from this breaker that was formed. I saw the breaker formed, and I just figured it would fail as price was seeking those session lows, and it didn't. I hope everyone's enjoying this Friday morning trading. It's gonna be painful for the next 2 days when we don't have anything to do trading wise. So most of us, I'm sure, will be spending our time back testing and setting up for next week. But I must admit, when there's no trading on Saturday and Sunday, I'm a little bit uneasy, just because I like trading so much and I like looking at the charts and seeing what I can find. Yeah, TC, you're right. We're, like I said, we're at all-time highs, so it's these. That's why I'm not jumping in. I'm trying not to have FOMO. Also, trying not to be aggressive with the continuation. We have here at 18,010. This was on the 1 minute chart. There was a fair value gap, so this was a 1 to 2 trade. It still hasn't delivered. It got really close, a couple points away, and then started to retrace, and now it's just ranging, doing a little consolidation for now. So it may actually still deliver the TP, but we'll have to wait and see. And then we have this low here, which represents a not necessarily a market structure shift, but a break of structure. And so we're looking to see which one is first, whether it reaches TP or whether we get a break of structure here on the 5 minute. Shark, are you talking about the one that you pointed out that was in this range on the lower time frame, or are you talking about this one here on the 5 minute? Okay, right here. Yep. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, you got this right here. Just this kind of action. Boom, boom. That's what you ended up getting. So yeah, so you got a upside down head and shoulder there, with the lower extremity of the breaker being the neckline. So you had return back down to the neckline and it took off. So if you're a head and shoulders trader, that was it right there. If you're a breaker trader, this was it. Retested a breaker with a fair value gap. There's your unicorn entry. And if you weren't a breaker or unicorn trader, this was also the 2022, this fair value gap. We had a sweep of liquidity, sweep of lows. We had a big momentum shift here, breaking this high, leaving a fair value gap behind, dipped back into it, took off. Or if you missed all of those and you were just a silver bullet trader, when you got a shift in market structure right here on this candle at 9:55, so at 10 o'clock, right at 10 o'clock, you got confirmed bullish, whereas before it was bearish. Right at 10 o'clock, you got a market structure shift. And on the next candle, traded down, closed. So at 10:05, you then had a fair value gap. Very next candle, traded into it and out. So that was your silver bullet. All of those essentially was with between an entry of 932 and 926. So within 6 points, you had 4 different entry models depending on how you like to trade. All right, so we did get a pierce of this low here, representing a break of structure. Now we need to see if we're going to get an actual shift or not, but we did get a structure break. take a really low risk entry here. See if we get a sell out of this area. All right, let's see if we make a new low. Like I say, low risk entry here. Let's just see if we get a turnaround. I mean, it's been very bullish for the last hour and a half. So far, price is not showing that it has a willingness to run away from this level. So we're still holding tight and just want to see where it goes. More coffee. So we're down to coffee this morning. All right, everyone. We have about 30 minutes left, or a little bit less in our session this morning. So if you have any questions or anything that's out there that you want to talk about, go ahead and put it in the chat now. Let's get going on that. All right. Let's risk off now. Let's see what happens here. Ian, I'm not sure which what you're looking for. You say you're looking for what time at a fair value gaps. So it really depends on which chart I'm on right now. Right now I'm on the 3-minute. You can see it at the top here. So every time I switch a chart time interval, the fair value gaps move because it only shows me the one that's on that chart time frame. It's not carried over from previous time frames. And that's because I'm using a indicator called FVG Nephew Sam. And so it changes it on every time frame for me. Good question. Good question. So what would the target here be? You can do an easy 1 to 2, which would be here, just before the fair value gap, so around 951-ish. All right, let's see if I can survive. It looks like it might come get me. But yeah, just because we're in uncharted waters, we've been very bullish the last 90 minutes. No sense in having a risk on this trade for going lower, even though that's where I'm hoping it goes. Twenty-five seconds. Let's see if I can survive on this 3-minute candle. Yeah, survived the last one. Let's see on this one. Okay, there we go. Took me out. All right, so now we'll wait and see if this candle closes inside of the breaker still, even though now it's pushed out a little bit. We'll see where it closes. Yeah, we had the breaker structure not inside of the macro, so it's not as strong as what would have been if we did have the breaker structure within the macro period. So that was another reason to protect ourselves and to make sure that we were covered just in case price turned around. Okay, another 15 seconds on this candle. Okay. So we had a close above, so I'm going to get rid of the breaker here. All right, so we had a sweep of a couple swing lows, just a handful. These two right here. And then from there, bullish momentum pushing out. So let's just see how far it wants to go. Hmm. Let's look at what type of retracement we just had. All right, on this most recent push, this most recent leg out of the breaker block from around, what's this, 10 o'clock roughly, we had a 50% retracement down to 971. In fact, the entire retracement area here on the 5-minute, there wasn't a single fair value gap until we got to the 50%. Now we have relative equal highs to run up to, as well as this was that fair value gap entry on the lower time frame. Remember, I think we were at the 1 minute maybe. Okay, nope, that wasn't it. Hmm. Can't remember which time frame that was on, but anyway, that fair value, that TP is still sitting there at 18,010, and so we'll see if that's where price is running to. We also have half a standard deviation at 18,020, and that's coming from this leg down before we saw the push to new highs this morning. We go back up to the 5-minute until we get to the next macro period, which is in 4 minutes, and then we'll shift back down. A 3-minute bull flag. Let's take a look. Okay. So we have one high taken on a 3-minute. Now we have you're looking for this next one at 1802 and then these equal highs. Okay. I see it. Wow. Look at these 1-minute candles. Look at that. The last 6, 7 minutes, nothing, like absolutely nothing. Just, yeah, let's look at the 5-minute again. $9.78. Okay. So you're saying to get back down to the fair value gap you're in, or maybe that's the beginning of the candle body. Okay, it looks like it has its sight set on those equal highs. It said Ash the live stream. Okay, all right, crypto. I'll check that out this weekend. Did he convert it into one of his instructional videos, or is it under like his live stream heading category? Oh, he did it in just the last day or two. Okay, got it. Gavin Ash is he's just another YouTube trader. I think he goes by Ash Trades or Ash something. But he made a really good unicorn model PDF that a lot of people use. If I'm not mistaken, he's the one who made that. All right, let's drop down time frames here. Yeah, crypto, this would be a great time to do it. If it does it within the next 20 minutes, it takes those highs. You could be looking for a nice setup. $9.85. Okay. All right, Brad. Good job. Way to go. Well, Brad, you already got a win. You're already up to 20 points. So now it's just however you manage it. But you got to win if you want it. All right, let's see if these are the highs being taken. All right, Kendrick. Yeah, that's a huge question. Yep. Yeah. It's the only problem with taking longs near the high. And the thing is, if you don't take it and then it takes off, you feel bad about not getting in. And then when you take it and it retraces on you, it's a bad situation. That's why I try to not have FOMO and just let it go, um, and work harder at trying to get in at a lower level earlier, before the whole move has happened. Because for me, I'm just not really good at taking continuations. Okay, let's see how it performs here now that it's in the bearish fair value gap here on the 1 minute. Came in with some energy, but that doesn't mean it won't retrace on us and push downwards. We do have equal lows here. Keep in mind we're in the macro period, so we still have another 14 minutes where it could sweep highs, sweep lows, and try to change position, change direction. And from there, you'll want to take an entry, based on a new direction. But if it's going back and forth, it's one of those things where you need to wait. So that's why when crypto says she's waiting for displacement, so she want to see a certain closure below a level, and she want displacement to create that new low. Yeah, Yeah, crypto, they just lead to losses for me. That's the problem. So you either got to wait for the retracement, or for me, I have to wait for the retracement or just stay out. Hey, Brad, a win is a win. Take it. Looks like it's sitting on two. Fair value gaps right here, bouncing back and forth on this one candle. Okay. It's all right, TJ. Don't worry. We have an afternoon session. Yeah, let's hope so. All right, everyone. I think that that ends our morning session. And so again, thanks everyone for tuning in and for bringing your usual energy, for for everything. If you are brand new to the channel, make sure you subscribe on your way out. Hit the like button as well. That goes for everyone. Hit the like button on your way out. But we're looking for new subscribers. So anyone who is in the channel for the first time or first couple times and you want to come back, just make sure you hit the subscribe so you get invitations going forward. But again, thanks everyone for being here this morning. We have an afternoon session in 1 hour, 1300. We'll start an afternoon session. So look out for that invitation. But thanks everyone. Cheers.